For 300 years, humanity had been afraid of the stars. Not because humans were weak, not because they lacked technology. They were afraid because they knew what was waiting for them. Beyond the edge of the solar system was an empire so powerful that entire civilizations disappeared after refusing to obey it. The aliens called themselves the Varkuun. Their ships were larger than cities. Their weapons could destroy planets. Their soldiers had conquered hundreds of worlds, and humanity had always been warned. Never fight the Varkuun. Never challenge them. Never make them angry. So humanity stayed quiet. They built colonies on Mars, Europa, Titan, and dozens of other worlds. Then one morning, every human communication network received the same message. The human species has been designated for extinction. Nobody knew why. The United Nations requested an explanation. The Varkuun answered with only 6 words. Your existence is a future threat. 3 days later, the invasion began. Thousands of alien warships appeared around Earth. People looked into the sky and realized something terrifying. There was nowhere to run. The Varkuun expected humanity to surrender. Instead, something unexpected happened. The human governments stopped arguing. The armies stopped competing. The nations stopped fighting each other. For the first time in human history, Earth had a single enemy, and humanity became united. The first Varkuun fleet entered Earth's atmosphere. Then the sky suddenly turned white. Thousands of human ships rose from hidden military bases beneath the oceans, the moon, and Mars. The Varkuun commander laughed. "Primitive species," he said. "You built ships?" The human commander answered calmly. "No, we built a civilization." The battle lasted 11 hours. Humanity lost thousands of ships, but something was wrong. The humans were not trying to win the battle. They were studying it. Every missile, every shield, every weapon, every movement of the Varkuun fleet was being recorded. Then the human scientists discovered the secret. The Varkuun technology was powerful but predictable. Humanity had spent centuries surviving on a dangerous planet. Humans had learned to adapt, to improvise, to survive when everything went wrong. And now they had something the Varkuun had forgotten. The second battle was completely different. Human ships began changing their tactics every few minutes. The Varkuun couldn't predict them. One human fleet attacked from behind a moon. Another emerged from Earth's atmosphere. A third fleet arrived from Mars. The Varkuun commander watched in disbelief. He finally understood the problem. Humanity wasn't fighting like an empire. It was fighting like a species that refused to die. The Varkuun fleet began retreating. For the first time in 300 years, the Varkuun Empire had lost a battle. But humanity didn't celebrate. Instead, Earth sent one message across the galaxy. You came here because you believed humanity was a future threat. There was a long silence. Then the human message continued. You were right. The Varkuun never attacked Earth again. And from that day onward, every civilization in the galaxy learned a new rule. If you meet humanity, don't ask how powerful they are. Ask how much they have already survived. Because humans don't become dangerous when they are stronger than everyone else. Humans become dangerous when they have something worth protecting. And Earth had finally found something worth protecting. Each other. For the first time, the galaxy was watching humanity. The Varkuun Empire had retreated, but humanity knew the war was not over. Deep inside the Varkuun command network, an emergency meeting had begun. The Varkuun High Council was furious. How did a primitive species defeat our fleet? No one had an answer. Then one scientist stood up. Because we made one mistake. The room became silent. We studied human weapons, he continued, but we never studied human behavior. The council demanded an explanation. The scientist activated a holographic record of Earth's history. Wars, disasters, famine, pandemics, natural disasters. Humanity had survived all of them. Humans are not dangerous because they are the strongest species, he said. They are dangerous because every time they face something they cannot defeat, they learn. The council ordered a second invasion. This time they would not attack Earth. They would attack Mars. The Varkuun believed humanity would be forced to choose between protecting Earth and protecting its colony. But they didn't understand humanity yet. When the warning reached Earth, millions of people looked toward Mars. The Varkuun fleet arrived at Mars before humanity could fully prepare. Hundreds of enormous warships appeared above the red planet. The Martian colonies looked tiny beneath them. The Varkuun commander sent one final message. Humanity, surrender Mars. The human response came almost immediately. No. The Varkuun fleet opened fire. But nothing happened. Their weapons failed. The commander stared at his controls in confusion. Then the human fleet appeared from behind Mars. Thousands of ships surrounded the Varkuun fleet. The Varkuun had fallen into a trap. Humanity had spent weeks secretly studying the enemy's technology. They had discovered a weakness in the Varkuun communication network. Every ship in the fleet was connected. If one ship lost synchronization, the others became less effective. The human fleet activated its new signal. One Varkuun ship went offline, then another, then dozens. Within minutes, the massive Varkuun fleet was struggling to coordinate. The Varkuun commander finally understood. Humanity had learned from the first battle, but the humans were not finished. A massive human ship moved forward. Its captain opened a communication channel. You wanted to know why we survived. The Varkuun commander remained silent. The captain continued, because we don't fight alone. Across Mars, millions of lights turned on. The colonies had joined the battle. For the first time, the Varkuun realized that every human settlement was part of the same defense. Earth, Mars, the Moon, Europa, Titan. Humanity had become one civilization, and the Varkuun had just united it even further. The battle above Mars had become a turning point. The Varkuun fleet was losing control. One by one, their ships shut down. The human fleet surrounded them but did not destroy them. Instead, Earth sent a final message. Leave our system. The Varkuun commander looked at the battlefield. For the first time, he understood something his empire had never considered. Humanity wasn't trying to conquer the galaxy. Humanity simply wanted to survive. The Varkuun ships began retreating. But before the last ship disappeared into hyperspace, the commander sent one question. Why did you spare us? The human captain answered, because we are not you. Silence filled the communication channel. Then the human captain continued, we don't need to destroy everyone who is different from us. The Varkuun fleet disappeared among the stars. Months passed. No invasion came. Instead, messages began arriving from distant civilizations. They had watched the war. They had seen what humanity had done, and they wanted to know one thing. Who are the humans? Earth's answer became famous across the galaxy. We are a species that learned to survive. And when we finally reached the stars, we decided to protect them too. From that day onward, humanity was no longer known as a young civilization. It was known as something far more important. A civilization that could not easily be broken. The galaxy had discovered humanity, and humanity had finally stopped running.